When two businesses merge with opposing cultures, 9 times out of 10, that merged business will fail because the cultures are so different and they have a different purpose. And we're seeing that time and time again in the M&A market, where the investment bankers are looking at it purely from a shareholder value point of view, and they're not considering the softer aspects of bringing people together into an environment that requires a common purpose and common set of values. Is purpose just another buzzword, or is it something that's been around, another way of saying mission, vision, values? If I go back to the early days of Body Shop, they had a purpose. It was about creating products that were sustainable and wouldn't damage the planet. The Ford car is famously about democratizing the automobile. I'm working for a client right now and sells cardboard boxes at a time when every single organization that's on click and collect now needs cardboard boxes. It doesn't have a written purpose, but its purpose is to fulfill a functional need from its customers. And that's equally applicable. John Lewis's purpose is to ensure that his employees are happy. Happy employees equals happy customers. It's as simple as that. And their promise is never knowingly undersold. So purpose is another way of saying this is why we exist and what matters to us and to the world. A brand, the typical interpretation is a product or a service that is unique to you, that can be sold at a premium price to consumers. But for me, a brand is completely different. A brand is about your reputation. You don't own your reputation, but you can influence it. And for the CEO, it's the second most important thing after his share price. The single most important thing about a brand is its honesty and integrity. And the reason I say that is that brands have made promises in recent times that have simply not been held up. They've been broken. So if you can preserve integrity, you can create transparency and honesty, you have a good chance of having a brand with a strong purpose. I think companies that do well and have a strongly embedded sense of culture and purpose are often companies that have strong leaders and often founders of the organization, because it's easy for them to influence them. And I've always admired a company like Patagonia that sells outdoor clothing. Its advertising says, don't buy this product. You could say it's a gimmick, and it probably is a gimmick, but it's a piece of truth that they want to make sure that you're not just buying another anorak, that you really need it. And they care about that, because they don't want to just sell you stuff to replicate stuff you've already got. And I think it's little things like that that really make a difference. I hate going to IKEA because it's an awful purchase experience. But when you look at the way the people behave and how they look after you, they have a very strong sense of ensuring that whatever they do is a delight for you. So they never talk about flat-pack furniture. They actually talk about creating a better everyday life. And it's so embedded and ingrained in the company. And that comes right from the top of the organization right down to the guy who's cleaning the toilets. I mean, it really is embedded in the business. Some of the great banks that we used to admire, that have fallen on difficult times and been fined for not actually delivering on their promises, could do a hell of a lot better than they are right now. Some of them are trying really hard, and I would say a bank like Lloyd's is getting it right. Barclays is struggling. Barclays is struggling because little things make a difference, and they're not living by the corporate culture or the corporate promise. They're a great organisation, and they just need to ensure that everybody in the business is living, breathing, and delivering the company's purpose. It's on paper, so why wouldn't you? McDonald's can do a lot better, particularly in terms of the environments that they occupy. Every street corner shouldn't be a McDonald's, and I think they need to be less intrusive as a brand. But I think a lot of what they're trying to do is good, but they could improve. The company and the product brand were often poles apart. We used to call them the corporate brand They're coming closer and closer and closer. And some pundits would say that by 2030, there will be no difference between the company brand and the product brand, because in the consumer's eyes, they want to buy products from a company that is a good company.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.